Next, I would like to explain a situation that can lead into the confusion. We have Flow now, so you are excited to introduce Flow to your existing customer base. And the people whom you know best are the people who are using Jenkins or Core or subscribing to support. Okay, so this group of people. But I need to remind you that the main problem that they are facing, the problem that they have solved with Jenkins, the context that they are most familiar with is about agile process, agile development process, CI, and continuous delivery, right, for potential having a lot of release candidates, right? So that is their mind, the context that they are going into this meeting. So you introduce Flow, you have your presentation, and you describe Flow. But truth to be told, if you describe Flow, we use a lot of similar vocabulary: orchestration, pipeline, tool chain, automation, monitoring, okay? You can take two separate decks. One is Core, one is Flow. And those 5 keywords exist on both decks. Now, you can say that, hey, if we explain it correctly and we define all of those things, then everything will be dandy. I don't think so. The reason why is those 5 things: orchestration, pipeline, automation, monitoring, they already attach meaning to those words for the things that they have been working on for the last 5 years, 10 years in their world, right? So even if you come up with a very strong definition separating what it means for Flow, what it means for Core, it will not reduce the confusion. So I want to make a point on that one. Now, coming back, you're excited, you want to explain this thing to them. You use similar terminologies, even though if you look and read the paragraph, we are talking about application release orchestration, not CI, right? But those keywords show up. So then they get confused. And they are not sure what's the difference, when it starts, when it stops for both products. Now, to make things even more challenging, if they get, the audience basically asks you, can you show a little bit of the Flow? I want to see what Flow is all about. Can you show me a screenshot? Or can I have an SA to explain it to me? Then you go ahead and then willingly, because you are excited and you want your friends, these are champions, excited about Flow. So you actually show it to them. Then they are thinking, wait a minute, that Kanban view, that looks awfully, has similar function than my Jenkins pipeline. That entry and exit gate, I have implemented that approval process in my Jenkins process and procedure. Monitoring, I've done that. I already automate all of my tools in my tool chains. I already orchestrate that. And I already collect the data and I bubble it up. As a matter of fact, I've been creating custom dashboard on the top of Jenkins and Core that meets my need. So I can see that Flow is just a duplicated product as Core, but it does have a fancier UI. I can tell you that, right? So you can see because of the context and the problem set that they are working, when they see Flow, they only see Flow from the lens of their problems. Now, at this moment, you may want to recover from this by saying, look, but let me explain that we have a very strong integration between Flow and Jenkins Core. And this is the best in the industry. But at the moment, this group of people basically already made up their mind that this is a duplicated product or have a very heavy overlap, right? And then when you try to explain about application release orchestration or deployment automation, it didn't register to them because they never have to deal with that problem. And if you explain about the importance of integration and how tight we are integrated, and then we can bubble up the data into the dashboard, the person will just scratch a hand and potentially say, wait a minute, then what about DevOptics? How does this thing play together? Okay, so in this case, I've described a situation when unintentionally this confusion happens.